Wait, hold on.
Tell me why you're doing this. Seriously.
I am awake. I'm walking out for love. I'm walking out really down on a cool breeze. Gonna be late again. Wait for me please. Running all in bed. Trying to catch this train. Time don't fool me no more. I throw my watch to the floor. It's gone crazy. Time don't do it again. Now I'm stretched and strained.
There are very few shows as memorable from American television as Breaking Bad. Not many can hold the title of a drama show which ran for over 5 years and created its own list of spin-offs, a lawyer show named Better Call Saul and a 2019 sequel movie, resulting in an entire trilogy holding its name. But a part of what makes the series so great is its setup, which is very simple in rhetoric. Walter White, a high school chemistry teacher, is underestimated in every way throughout his life. A chemist in background, he began a company named Gray Matter Technologies to profit off college research, supported by his girlfriend Gretchen. It is cited throughout the show that Walt began to feel inferior to Gretchen and the family's wealth, and soon parted ways with her during a vacation in Newport, Rhode Island. The company's successes were partially to account for the involvement of fellow Caltech alumnus Elliot Schwartz, who then went to rewrite the work Walt left behind in his own name, and carried on using the company as his former partner headed to Albuquerque, New Mexico, to start out a life in the suburbs using whatever money he had left from his research. In 2008, the company was nominated for a Nobel Prize for their work in molecular switches, which Walt pioneered. But after leaving Gretchen, Walt sold his share, 1/3 of the company, to Elliot for $5,000. As of 2010, Gray Matter Technologies reportedly had a valuation of $2.16 billion, making his original share worth an estimated $720 million. This makes Walter understandably bitter about the transition, with a constant wish to switch back time to make his successes valuable. However, it is an attitude he often masks in the presence of his crippled teenage son, Walter Jr., and his wife Skylar. Skylar is a controversial character throughout the show, as she constantly tries to mask Walter's plans and criticizes him for the simplest things. The hate went so far that the actress playing the role of Skylar had reportedly received death threats on her behalf from angry fans of the show, which were appalled by the way the story developed with her acting and nearby presence. However, the emotion displayed on her behalf and the way other characters connect to her, especially later on as she needs to maintain Walter's secrets from her family and understandably continues to break ties with him. The actress won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Support Actress in a drama series in 2013 and 2014, close to Breaking Bad's end, and has since moved on to other projects, but the character rests as a central point of the series to a lot of viewers. Another questionable portrayal is that of Roy Frank Meat III, who plays White's son, Walter Jr. Perhaps if the setting were different, he would merely consider it a side character, but in the greater Breaking Bad universe, he is often a key part of the relationships purely within the family, unaware of his father's efforts until the very end. These efforts begin when, during a regular checkup, Walter White is diagnosed with terminal lung cancer. Walt maintains a temporary job at a car wash, along with his occupation as a teacher, in order to pay the bills. Working for a Romanian American who goes by the name of Bogdan. Within him still rests the fear of intimidation, his prized work stolen from him, a millionaire forced into a life he didn't require in a mediocre neighborhood, washing his students' cars for a living. So when Walter is told that he will soon perish, he does not feel the need to seek help, but simply accepts his death as an escape. Choosing to withhold the information temporarily from his family, he goes on a DEA trip with his brother-in-law Hank to closely observe how the work is done, and witnesses the progress of a crime scene bust. What surprises him most, however, is when he stumbles upon former student Jesse Pinkman attempting an escape from the scene. Attempting not to make another hustle around himself, he makes eye contact with Pinkman as he runs away, but does not tell anyone of the encounter despite his interest. Later in the day, Walter attempts to find out more about the former student and locates him through the internet at his former aunt's house, where he finds a methamphetamine lab. Pinkman goes to the supposition that Walter is there to school him, but upon learning that his teacher during junior year owns to a doctorate degree in chemistry, he learns that his product could be greatly improved, and the next day, Pinkman asks his friend by the name of Badger a favor of borrowing an RV, which he then uses to drive out into the desert with Walt, where he had already assembled a wide variety of tools which seem unrecognizable to Pinkman. Using the RV as a factory, Jesse's chemicals, and stolen properties from the school's science lab, the two then proceed to create a product. Upon several tries, Walter creates a formula for exemplary pure material and gives it to Pinkman to sell to a former collaborator. The operation is sabotaged by a rival drug ring, led by the man who wants to learn how to manufacture Walt's product, holding him at gunpoint along with a partner. The teacher takes a risk by secretly creating explosive powder which kills one of the criminals and injures the other. Walter and Jesse soon have to come to terms that a business which deals in drugs cannot sustain itself without the spillage of blood, and when the men's bodies are disposed of, they begin to convince dealers to sell their product. Soon the two conduct a series of tests for products and come under the suspicion of authorities who suspect that Pinkman may be involved with a former drug operation, which Walter observed. However, his involvement is still unknown of, as the family begins to find out that the old chemist may have been susceptible to cancer and creates fundraisers, attempting to care for him. This interferes with Walter's drug trade, which begins to cite as an attempt to leave his family money post-mortem, but becomes a secret passion of his. He soon drops to work at a car wash, without telling anyone, to make time for his new profession. The series proceeds throughout 5 seasons, filmed over 5 extensive years, which deals with everything from marital affairs to small robberies to driving lessons, with a main plotline set around the blind goose chase between Walter, who constantly finds new suppliers and methods to mask himself from the authorities, and Hank, his accidental main pursuer. Plotlines curve toward forward and back, as loose ends tie together to make a convincing scenario, incomparable in entirety to most other television shows of its time. Multiple characters come in and out of the scene. Walt and Jesse's criminal lawyer Saul Goodman looks for a way to profit of the trade, while using his connections to cover up their attempts at hiding away from the police, but soon becomes directly and deeply involved as the main target of the police due to his statue as a dispart advisor in Albuquerque. He makes for one of the most memorable television characters to date, and certainly makes an impression in the series. The show twists expectations, cuts corners, and reveals things previously unknown to the viewer, earning its title. Its plotline is altered severely and yet stays true to the original theme of the show, bringing true to the brilliance of Vince Gilligan, the series creator. This is perhaps what makes Breaking Bad stand out from most other shows. The sudden feeling of mystery. The viewer doesn't know what will come next. There are no expectations set. And a lot of lines that would not be broken in traditional TV are indeed broken in Breaking Bad. Everything is done in moderation, and perhaps that lives up to its standard, creating a form of TV that has not been known before. And the brilliance of the show has been replicated in a lot of AMC's recent creations and their new debuts. If you haven't watched the series yourself, I highly encourage you to check it out. I am doing this out of my own will, and this was perhaps my first review on this channel. If you want to see more, please subscribe and like this video. And yeah, this is Mongolium, signing out.